I was standing in my apartment when the notification hit my phone. Flight ready to board. I stared at the screen, my heart dropping into my stomach like a stone. It was 3:30 in the afternoon, and my flight wasn't supposed to leave until 9:15 that night. Something was terribly wrong. I called the airline immediately, my hands shaking as I fumbled with my phone. The first representative I spoke with told me I had approved the schedule change myself. The words didn't make sense. I hadn't touched anything. I hadn't agreed to anything. I hadn't even opened their app in days. I demanded to speak with a supervisor, my voice rising with each word. The supervisor's voice was different, quieter, more careful. She admitted that the change was unauthorized, that I would have needed to be physically present at the airport to make such a modification. But the flight had already departed, already disappeared into the sky. There was nothing they could do now. She promised me a call back and an email confirmation for a new booking on December 23rd. Neither ever came. I waited by my phone like an idiot, checking my email every hour. When I called back, they told me everything had to be handled at the airport. No exceptions. No flexibility. So on December 23rd, I dragged myself to the terminal, exhausted and frustrated, expecting answers and maybe an apology. What I got instead was so much worse. The agent looked at my reservation and went pale. Her fingers froze on the keyboard. Someone had used my ticket. Someone had boarded that flight on December 20th using my name and date of birth. And that wasn't all. They had checked a bag under my reservation using a credit card that definitely wasn't mine. A stranger's credit card attached to my name. I felt the room spin around me. How does someone walk through security, board a plane, and check luggage without proper identification? My name isn't common. It's not like there are dozens of people who could accidentally get confused with me. This wasn't a simple mix-up. The staff admitted it was fraud. They documented everything with grim faces and handed me written confirmation. But they offered no solution. No reimbursement. No explanation that made any sense. Just a shrug and a suggestion that I dispute the charges with my credit card company, as if this was somehow my problem to solve alone. I paid for a new flight out of my own pocket just to get home for the holidays. Then I filed a police report with the Port Authority. I wasn't going to let this disappear into some corporate black hole. For 2 weeks I was dismissed, blamed, told it was somehow my fault, that I must have done something wrong. I felt small every time I called, like I was the one who had committed fraud. But I kept pushing. I kept calling. I kept demanding answers. Finally, the Port Authority detective called me back. They had reviewed the airport footage frame by frame. A gate agent had rebooked someone onto my reservation because they shared my last name. That was it. Same last name. No first name check. No ID verification. No security protocols followed. This stranger had missed their morning flight, and the agent just handed them mine. Printed them a physical boarding pass and sent them on their way like it was nothing. The detective told me directly this was the airline's fault. Not security. Not some system glitch. Not my error. A gate agent made a catastrophic mistake, and the airline tried to cover it up, tried to make it vanish. Only after the police got involved did I receive an email from the airline. Suddenly they had investigated. Suddenly they had found the problem. But they couldn't provide details, they said, citing privacy concerns. I laughed out loud when I read that line. The detective had already given me the full police report. I knew everything they were trying to hide. They offered me flight credit. As if a voucher could make up for being gaslit for 2 weeks during the holidays. As if it could erase the humiliation of being told I was at fault for someone else's fraud. I want cash compensation. I want accountability. And I want everyone to know that this can happen to you, that airlines will protect themselves before they protect passengers. If you ever find yourself in a situation like this, do not back down. File that police report. Demand answers. Refuse to be dismissed. Without the Port Authority, this would have been buried forever. These companies rely on you giving up, on you being too tired to fight. I didn't give up, and neither should you. If this story resonated with you, or if you've been through something similar, drop a comment below. Share your experience. And if you want to see how this turns out, make sure you're subscribed because I'm not done fighting yet.